We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Today is December 27th. It is 7:30 p.m. I'm off today, so I figured I'd do a podcast. As far as updates, honestly, man, I just worked yesterday, passed the fuck out when I came home. Been some nice rainy weather, so I love that. Got a new Conjuring movie. I got the third Conjuring movie. So after I get finished podcasting, whenever Sammy gets home, probably going to watch the 3 Conjuring movies, maybe do like a little marathon. But yeah, that's about it. All right, so let's get into it. Obviously, this is a conspiracy podcast, and I report on other conspiracy theorists sometimes. Either way, I'm going to lose. Either way, someone's going to get mad because they think that I'm picking on their hero. Either way, someone's going to think I'm a shill because I'm a fan of Alex Jones. I'm reporting on Alex Jones today. I had something pop up in my on my phone about a week ago about a lawsuit, which we're going to cover that and kind of get more into detail of what's going on with that. And then I had something pop up yesterday consisting of Alex Jones and his personal life. Like I said, either way, I'm going to lose. Someone in the comment section is going to be like, oh, God. I'm actually a fan of Alex Jones. I know he's been wrong before. People have said he's a CIA agent, but given no proof. So whether I report on him because it's conspiracy news, either way I'm going to lose, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through with it. I just wanted you to know that I actually am a fan of Alex Jones. I listen to him quite a bit just because he's kind of a beast. Like, he'll put out 3-hour podcasts, and to me that's something that I like to put on while I go to sleep because it's 3 hours. And I like to have something on while I sleep. I don't like it just silent and dark. It's just, I don't know, that shit creeps me out. But let's get into, apparently there's a lawsuit. Alex Jones sues January 6th committee, indicates plan to plead the 5th. So, pro-Trump broadcaster and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is suing the Jan 6 Select Committee to block the panel from obtaining his phone records and compelling his testimony at a deposition next month. In the suit, Jones says he intends to assert his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination, confirming a statement he made on his show, and that the committee rejected his offer to provide written responses to their questions. So honestly, that's the smartest thing to do, you know. Any lawyer will say if you're getting interrogated or questioned about anything, plead the 5th, wait till you get a lawyer, you know. The less you say, the better. The panel, he says, has asked him to appear for a deposition on January 10th and has suggested it is considering offering immunity to compel his testimony. He also says he doesn't intend to produce documents, claiming his journalistic activity is protected under the First Amendment. Well, it used to be. Now there's no such thing as free speech. We're pretty much in like communist America now. With respect to his deposition subpoena, Jones has informed the Select Committee that he will assert his First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights to decline to produce the documents requested by the Select Committee, asserting that he engaged in constitutionally protected political and journalistic activity under the First Amendment, that the Fourth Amendment guarantees him a right of privacy in his papers, and that he is entitled to due process and the right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment, he argues. The panel is seeking Jones' phone records from his carrier AT&T. Jones's lawsuit is the latest in a flood of litigation by targets of the January 6th committee, seeking to prevent them from enforcing its subpoenas and obtaining phone records from private carriers. Several organizers of the January 6th rally that preceded the violent attack at the Capitol, have jointly sued the panel. John Eastman, the attorney who helped Trump develop plans to pressure Mike Pence to overturn the results of the last year's presidential election, has sued to protect his phone records as well. Alexander, the founder of Stop the Steal movement, has sued, as has Amy Harris, a freelance photographer who has been working on a project about the Proud Boys. The only thing I have to say, like, yes, there was some violence on Jan 6. But they failed to mention how, like, Antifa was there dressed as Trump supporters. You'll never hear about that. You'll never hear about how they were let in. There's footage all over the place, but for some reason they just don't seem to understand that. I actually wish the best for Alex, man. The left has taken this and made it ridiculous. Like AOC crying and talking about how dramatic it was, and now she needs therapy when she wasn't even there. It's just, from what I heard, Alex was invited to go up there to hear the president speak. And it was almost like he was being led into a trap. He didn't incite any violence from what he says. He says that he was actually trying to stop people from being violent and busting in and breaking in. But, yeah. The fact that the left is like comparing this to 9/11 is pretty disgusting. When I first heard that they were saying this was the worst attack since 9/11, that was pretty disgusting. It's like, oh, forget about Pearl Harbor, you know. That, and it's just like, how are you comparing this to two buildings falling with hundreds of people inside of them, like burning alive and shit? Like, I don't know. Just kind of pissed me off a little bit, because I remember 9/11. That shit wasn't no game, dude. On Monday afternoon, Cleta Mitchell, a prominent conservative attorney who joined Trump's early January call with Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, sued to squash a subpoena from the January 6th Select Committee for her private phone records, calling it an unwarranted intrusion on her privacy and privileged communications. Notably, Mitchell indicated she doesn't dispute the legitimacy of the January 6th committee probe, which she pointed out was recently supported by a federal appeals court panel. But she said the subpoena itself was too broad. Mitchell said she spent months performing legal work on Trump's behalf, with a focus on Georgia, which led to December 4th lawsuit that was ultimately dismissed. Jones led hundreds of supporters on a march at the to the Capitol on January 6th. He's not accused of any crimes related to the attack on the Capitol. One of his close associates, however, Owen Stroyer, who accompanied Jones for most of the day, is facing misdemeanor charges for breaching police lines at the Capitol. Now, I did know about that. I'm not sure about that, man. Stroyer was in court via video Monday afternoon, seeking to dismiss the case against him. In an hour-long hearing, his attorney made the case to the U.S. District Court Judge Timothy Kelly that the charges against Schroyer amount to vindictive prosecution of Schroyer for his political views. But Kelly seems skeptical of that position, noting that prosecutors have charged hundreds of people in connection with the January 6 events at the Capitol. They've been charging a heck of a lot of people, Kelly said. While more than 700 people have been charged, the vast majority of charges have been brought against those accused of entering the Capitol or battling with police. Very few besides Schroyer are charged only with minor offenses on Capitol grounds. So, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, if it's a minor offense, dude, you might as well just take it. It's just, I don't know. That's what I've done anytime I've been in court. Schroyer is facing a series of misdemeanor charges that he crossed police lines, refused directions to leave the restricted grounds, and exasperated the situation by chanting 1776 near the top of the steps on the Capitol East Side. Yeah, I could see that. I could see him chanting 1776. Honestly, like I said, though, misdemeanor charges, I would just take it. Schroyer had previously entered a deferred prosecution agreement with the government for his disruption of impeachment proceedings in 2019. At the time, he stood up and shouted at the impeachment investigators during a public hearing. The agreement prohibited Schroyer from future disruptive acts on Capitol grounds. So he had messed up before yelling during an impeachment thing. So he was already told, dude, you're not supposed to be fucking up on Capitol grounds. Schroyer has claimed he was with Jones during the attack and circled the Capitol looking for places Jones could use to calm the crowd and urge participants to leave, which is true. Schroyer's attorney, Norman Pattis, said video supports that claim, showing a security aide to Jones asking police officers if Jones could climb up on a pedestal to address the crowd. At one point, according to lawyers involved in the case, an officer replied, "If you can get him up there, go for it." We view that as condonation, Pattis said. I'm not sure that the magistrate who authorized the arrest warrant would have signed the warrant had that comment been highlighted. However, prosecutors contend that an officer's remark amid an unfolding crisis didn't amount to permission to cross the police lines. Quote, even if this were permission, it's not permission for Owen Schroyer, Assistant U.S. Attorney Troy Edwards Jr. said. Edwards insisted that prosecutors were not targeting Schroyer over his speech. The charges target his conduct, the prosecutor said. But Pattis said that the claim was absurd. Quote, I found that shocking. There's no evidence that he did anything other than speak, the defense attorney said. I don't think this court can ignore the speech-drenched character of this. It is our contention that Mr. Schroyer was doing nothing other than petitioning for the redress of grievances. Kelly did not rule immediately on the defense's motions to toss out the charges. He suggested at the outset that some of Pattis's claims might be useful defenses at the trial, but didn't seem to be sufficient to have a judge throw out the case. However, shortly before the hearing recessed, Kelly added, quote, the parties have given me little more to chew on than I had thought. Jones's new lawsuit indicates that the committee offered him a chance to speak informally about a limited set of topics, but he refused, contending that the panel, quote, has not treated others that it has offered the same deal to fairly and with respect. Jones has good and substantial reason to fear that the secret committee might cite him for contempt of Congress if he refuses to answer its questions on grounds of constitutional privilege, his suit argues. So there you go. There you have it. He's suing back. I figured I'd share that with you. It's fairly new news. Let me know in the comments what you think. And we have a little more on Jones that popped up on my phone last night that I think is interesting. All right, so like I said at the beginning, man, either way, reporting on someone's hero, I'm going to get backlash. I've already expected that. I'm already used to that. I've reported on other content creators before and gotten hate before, so that, and I do have to give this disclaimer. I'm not making fun of this person because of mental health. Um, so if I laugh, it's honestly just me just laughing. Because I've suffered from mental health issues. I mean, I've shared it on this channel. I've suffered from substance abuse issues. I'm an open book, transparent. I don't hide. Um, but it is my job to report on this stuff, you know. And people will go, well, you don't have to. I've heard people, this isn't your job. No, but it's what I want to become my full-time job someday, is to be a podcaster. If that happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, oh well. I'm still going to podcast, and I do technically get paid to do this, so yeah, it is my job. Alex Jones's wife arrested on domestic violence charge. Dallas AP, the wife of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, was arrested Christmas Eve on a domestic violence charge that the right-wing provocateur seems to stems from a medication imbalance. First of all, he's not a right-wing provocateur. If you actually remember, he actually got pretty big during 9/11 and stuff for going against the Bushes. So I don't know who Jake Bleibarg is, who wrote this article, but he's a fucking idiot. Second off, Christmas time, man, I know that's like a hard time for people with mental illness. I don't like the holidays. I know I get blue. I think I have a touch of whatever that is, like during like winter, where you get depressed, seasonal depression. That's what I definitely think I have that. So I could see someone freaking out on Christmas Eve. Especially like, I don't know. I mean, just the stress of it. Maybe, I don't know. There were some family members that she didn't like around. It doesn't tell who she hits, honestly. So there's no telling Alex. Alex could have been driving her crazy. I could see that. Sheriff's deputies took Erica Wolf Jones into custody. That's a cool ass last name, by the way. But it's not Wolf as in like WOLF. It's WULFF. Still cool sounding though. Sheriff's deputies took Erica Wolf Jones into custody and booked her into an Austin jail around 8:45 p.m. So it was pretty early, Friday. Jail records show the 43-year-old faces misdemeanor charges of assault, causing bodily injury to a family member, and resisting arrest, search, or transport. That's where they'll get you, the resisting arrest. I'm pretty sure that's like I don't know, it says misdemeanor charges though, so it might not be too bad. She had not received a bond Saturday afternoon. So no bond. She's still stuck in there. Alex Jones, an Austin resident and founder of the right-wing media group InfoWars, once again, false, declined Saturday to say whether he'd been injured or elaborate on what had happened beyond that he believes it was related to his wife's recent change of medication. I actually don't know because I just started taking medication, like I said in previous episodes. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see that maybe causing like a chemical imbalance and a freak out or something. I'm not sure. It's a private family matter that happened on Christmas Eve, Jones told the Associated Press in a brief interview. I love my wife and care about her, and it appears to be some kind of medication imbalance. So at least he's taking it cool and supporting her, you know. That's cool. The Travis County Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to a request Christmas Day for the report on Wolf Jones' arrest. So I'm guessing she kept her last name then, which was Wolf. And a spokesperson, it must be like a hyphen, you know. And a spokeswoman said she could not provide more information. An attorney for Wolf Jones did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Jones sued this week, seeking to block subpoena. Yeah, we're not getting back into that. Jones said his wife's arrest doesn't concern my politics and that it wasn't some kind of personal, hateful thing or anything. So, figured I'd share that with you. We do have some time, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll go ahead and do a little plug real quick. If you're watching on YouTube, you can listen to it as an audio format only because some people do prefer that. It saves your battery while you're working. You can find us on Breaker, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Spotify, and Anchor. And if you want to put a face to a voice, you can find us on YouTube and YouTube. The profile is Conspiracy Corner Podcast. It's a little, on YouTube, it's a little bunny rabbit with a samurai sword, so. Alright, so when I have like a little extra time, I always like to save like crazy, weird articles. It's one of my little hobbies. And share them with you all. So, we got a little bit of time. I figured I'd go do some crazy articles, some silly stuff. This is Ohio Little Caesars delivers pizza with pepperoni swastika. First of all, I didn't know Little Caesars delivered, so that's kind of cool. I wish ours did. I love Little Caesars. Like when it's hot and fresh, $5. Hell yeah. Especially like if you got a big family and everyone's kind of poor. Mm-hmm. An Ohio couple ordered a pizza and was horrified to open the box to find its pepperoni arranged as a swastika, according to a report. Jason Laska said he had picked up the pie Saturday night from a Little Caesars shop in Brook Park and brought it home, WJW reported. Quote, "My wife turned and asked me, 'Babe, did you order this? Did they make it for you?' And I turned around and looked at it, and I could see the shock in her face. And then my jaw just dropped," Leska told the outlet. By the way, I could so see this happening. Like, most people who work at pizza places, and I'm not trying to be mean because I used to be a pizza boy, we're usually like stoners and shit. So, like, I think this is personally hilarious. Like, I've always wanted to order a pizza like with the pepperonis in the shape of like a pentagram or something. I thought that would be kind of cool. I could so see like just like two stoners like in the back though making this pizza like, oh, this would be fucking hilarious, bro. Like not thinking clearly and like yeah, that's gonna backfire on you, buddy. The couple called the pizza joint, which had just closed, to complain and received a response the following day from the manager. Quote, "The employees told him that it was supposed to be an internal joke that they were playing on each other and the other employee, and the pizza was never intended to go out," Leska said. Well, it went out. The manager told them that the employees involved were let go, but the couple said that they never planned to return to the store. Aww. So they just overreacted. Come on, chill out. It's just a joke. I mean, I could see the employees getting fired. Like, I understand that. But to just boycott it, like, I don't know. That's a little dramatic. We are the type of people that support the diversity in our country. We embrace and love it. We just want to see this hate stop. Dude, it's a pizza with a swastika. Chill the fuck out. Sorry, man. Am I the only one that would just laugh? Like, if I found my pizza with a swastika, I would just laugh my butt off. These got to be like social justice warriors or something. Little Caesars confirmed in a statement that the chain fired the employees involved in the offensive incident. Quote, "We have zero tolerance for racism and discrimination in any form, and these franchise store employees were immediately terminated," a spokesperson told the outlet. "We are deeply disappointed that this happened, as this conduct is completely against our values." So let me know what you think about that. I think the reaction was a little dramatic. I mean, I don't know. Even as a boss, I don't think I would fire my employees for that. I'd probably tell the people I fired them, but I don't know. I mean, it just sounds like like he said, an internal joke gone wrong. Because I'm sure they probably feed them like, hey, you guys can make like one pizza a night or whatever. And it accidentally went out, but I think it's funny. Some people I think just overreact. Like if I had a swastika pizza, I would take a picture of it definitely, but I wouldn't freak out. I'd be like, hell yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Like I said, I've always wanted a pentagram pizza. Maybe for my birthday or something. My wife can get me one, but that's about it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed, and y'all have a good day.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.